The first presentation is by Jungup, who's in the Department of Social Work, and her research seeks to refine how we understand adverse childhood events and how they relate to subsequent behavioural and health outcomes for children and adolescents. So thank you very much. And just to mention to the speakers, there's a timekeeper here who will wave these threatening coloured cards, laminated cards at you. Woe betide, he won't give you tea later on if we go too much beyond. So, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to present traditional bullying, cyberbullying, and the mental health among university students. Some of you may be familiar with this term of bullying, but some are maybe you heard the bullying, but what the cyberbullying and the traditional bullying exactly means. So let's look at first what bullying is. So in my study, there is two forms of bullying, which is the cyberbullying and the traditional bullying. So traditional bullying at first, we also called face-to-face bullying. So which is intentionally and repeatedly aggressive behavior that is carried out by someone which is hard for victim to defend their own. And in the traditional bullying, there are several sub-forms of bullying, such as physical, like hitting, kicking, and verbal, like calling me name, and the relational bullying. Such as excluding someone in their own community to make them embarrassed or harmful intentionally. So what are the differences of cyberbullying? So cyberbullying, recently the dramatically increase of some electronic technology uses, that it may inflict a lot to having a cyberbullying, specifically for young generation. So cyberbullying typically using some information and communication technology, any forms of ICT, such as internet, smartphone, and the social media platform. So what about Singapore? In Singapore, we have some study about the cyberbullying and the traditional bullying. So according to the Singapore Children's Society in 2007, approximately 1 in 4 the secondary school student and 1 in 5 primary school students were victims. And Microsoft in 2012 surveyed across 25 the countries. Singapore has the second high risk the rate of cyberbullying, almost 58%. And the more recent survey from the Touch Cyber Awareness found nearly 1 in 3 of the secondary school pupils were cyber victims, and while 1 in 4 were cyber bullies. So, what bullying matters? Bullying is pervasive social concern that leads to the severe and the long-lasting consequences, especially for young generation, such as behavioral outcome and the psychological outcome. And more specifically, victims are at risk of school dropout and some of the mental health, such as depression and anxiety, and suicide behavior, attempting and thinking suicide. And meanwhile, bullies are at risk of being involved in the school violence, gang membership, and other types of crime. But the previous study mostly focused exclusively on the children and youth. But why I'm interested in the bullying study among the university students? So let's look at some of the characteristics of a university student. So university students are transitioning from the adolescent to the young adulthood. So within this period, they have so many transitional life events. graduation and entering university and thinking about their future job and the romantic relationship as well. So a lot of study from the Western and even in Singapore, they concern about this population as well. So according to the study, 4 out of 5 young Singaporean experience quarter life crisis. Especially their general standard of living is so high, and under the competitive nature of the school system and the parental expectation and the hectic lifestyle, especially uncertainty for their future. So it is not only the children and the youth bullying, but also university students, bullying behavior and their consequences also very meaningful. So this is one of the main negative consequences from the bullying. So in Singapore, young adults aged 18 to 34 are more likely to have experienced mental disorder, and the trend of suicide is getting increased from 2006 to 2016. And also some binge drinking habit, also a big concern among the young generation. Okay, so let's look at my research aim. There are 4 specific aims in this study to examine the prevalence of bullying, and then examine association between socio-ecological factor and the bullying, as well as association between bullying and the mental health, and lastly, to examine the moderating effect of socio-ecological factor on the association. So this is based on quantitative research. So the cross-sectional and the self-report survey design and a purposive sample of 2,000 university students aged 21 to 30 who use electronic technology device in daily life will be targeted. And I conduct online survey, but I have some the concern too. It delay a lot the getting the ILB approval, and then it just launched a couple weeks ago. So I have a very small sample size today, but there's a big meaningful as well. So let's share together. So some are the key variable of bullying and the mental health. So I'm using both traditional and the cyberbullying, either victimization and the perpetuation. And the mental health, mental health, they include depression, anxiety, substance use, PTSD, eating disorder, and the suicide ideation. And also add some the socio-ecological factor. So far, because I only got 131, still small sample size, but data collection is still ongoing. So mean age is 22.8, and around 60% were female, and 82% are Chinese, and around 23% are Christianity, and the monthly household income is nearly 29% have over 2,000 and above, and 16% have less than $2,000. And here, mainly they using the online a day is around 4 hours a day. They use the online, any kind of online activity for our university student. Okay, let's look at this table for bullying involvement. So I examined the 2 different time frames in the past 12 months and in the past 30 days. When you look at these 2, traditional bullying and the cyberbullying, so traditional bullying, both victim and the bully, slightly higher than the cyberbullying's prevalence. But interestingly, when you look at the 2 to 3 times a month and more, the cyberbullying victim and the bully is pretty much higher than the traditional bullying, which is very different from the study, the previous study from the US and the South Korea. Because most country, even the cyberbullying is emerging and a big issue, but still the prevalence rate of the traditional bullying are the higher than the cyberbullying. But in Singapore, cyberbullying experience is very concerned and some important meaning here. So we should look at that later. And also, when you see that this cyberbullying, the cyberbullies once or twice in the past 30 days, 1 in 10 students were the cyberbullies. Okay, let's look at the mental health as well. Overall, when you look at the mental health, the mean score and the percentage, but there's not severe, but when you look at the depression, anxiety, specifically, it's ranging from 0 to 3. But the mean score is 1.84 and 1.5. It's pretty much higher. And in the substance use, around 48% of the university students use alcohol. And interestingly, 13% of our university students are heavy drinkers. So some are not all, but some point of like mental health or behavioral health, we think about more carefully. Okay, so I already told you it's just the initial, the ongoing survey. So that I'm still continuing to collect data till the next semester, and then to analyze more under my conceptualization model. And when I finish this study, I also think about not only the university student, more extend to the secondary school and JC, Polytech, as well as after graduation, the university student, because there's so many dynamic transitional life events within this period. And also some are specifically bullying study, and the bullying measure is all from the Western. So there is the Asian context. So I think it is very necessary to develop bullying measure, either the cyberbullying and the traditional bullying in Asian context, because our young generation's characteristic is a bit different from the Western style. And also it is totally under the quantitative research. So I think adding the qualitative research to see the more multidimensional finding, and then we can see what is meaning in Singapore. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Questions, please.
Usually, there is a literature saying that people who have been bullied can sometimes also become bulliers themselves.
Yes.
Are you looking at this aspect or not? Did you ask this question to you?
This is a very good question. So today I only share the prevalence of bullying, like big victims and the bullying itself. But when I get enough sample size, I want to see not only bully and the victim, and both happening together. And also, maybe we can also see the co-occurrence of the bullying, because they have so many different bullying forms in there. So yes, it's true. There's so dynamic things. Previous study of mine, I look for how the childhood bullying, the influence, the current university students bullying. There is a very interesting things. When people were bullied as a child, it's the increase or the very strongly related to their current bullying experience as well. But not only like a same trend, like a victim to victim or bully to bully, because they have very cross-sectional, like a traditional side, face-to-face, and side-to-side. So some kids, when they were bullied as a child, in school. Some are the bully, the on-site, the online when they are growing up in university. So that they have a lot of like a dynamic going on. So I really looking for.
And my second question is also, they said, the little I read about schools, they said for younger age, it's very important the role of the staff and the principal if they send a strong message.
Yes.
We will not approve such and it was more for traditional bullying, we will not approve it. And we will punish. You are looking at NUS. Is NUS sending a strong message, or is not just part of a culture and really had an impact on dealing with bullying?
I'm not sure yet because it's just a really initial study. So after the finding, looking at my finding, maybe I can figure it out and inviting some the expertise here, and then we are talking about more about what happened, based on our students' characteristics and some other country as well. But a very good question. Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you. So just time for one more question at the back.
So I'm interested in the differences that you observed between the different cultural contexts. First of all, to do with whether it was cyber or face-to-face in the different cultural contexts. And I wonder whether you think that the nature of the bullying is radically different, or whether people answer the questions differently. So do we have good granularity on what people think counts as bullying as a uni student when they're in the US versus when they're here? Will they be choosing a different threshold beyond which they'll call something bullying instead of light teasing that is kind of considered normal digital interaction between young adults? So I'm sort of wondering about how those things might intersect. And in a related way, I wonder, do you also have indexes in your current surveys about digital device usage patterns? Because where we see that difference between face-to-face interaction and digital, is that simply a consequence of how much more time one group versus the other is spending on their digital devices? Or is it how they're interpreting the nature of those digital interactions? So I'm interested to hear your perspectives on what data you've got and where you see that going in the future.
Thank you very much for your questioning. Both mainly two questions. First is about the bullying definition, right? It's still debating in our the bullying study, because some are strictly agree the whole kind of a human teasing and kicking, it can be bullying. But some people, some scholars say it's specifically for studying for the university students or the more older generation. Maybe the term of bullying is not applicable. Maybe we can use another terms is more the familiar and the more applicable. So here in the bullying association, the bullying study association, we need a lot to study more specifically at the front stage. We need to define and clarify the definition of bullying. So it's very important things. And the second, you asking about the digital things, right? Yeah, the previous study and the one of my current study, they found the length of the using the online, the strongly related to the bullying behavior. But I think not only that things, not only the length of bullying, the online use, but also what types of online you use, because there's a lot of different using. Specifically for the university students, they are using the online for the academia and for the gaming and some the communicating. So a lot of different sense of the activity, maybe they're influenced differently. So we will also look at that one. And then after finalize, I also look at the one, is there any differences between not only a gender or some race, but also some difference from their faculty or the department. Because the social science students, they are pretty much well known about what bullying is, and rather than the engineering and some of the computing students. So that we also figure out that one as well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.